My precious child, something has shifted in the spirit realm, and heaven has authorized me to speak clearly to you right now. This is not random. This is not coincidence. And this is not just another message scrolling past your screen. God is saying, this Saturday, your soulmate will appear. The secret location has been revealed. Don't miss it. The location is, and you must open this urgently before 11:59 p.m. What I am about to share is time-sensitive in the spirit. Listen carefully. For weeks you have felt a strange anticipation, a stirring in your chest, a quiet whisper that something life-changing is approaching. You tried to ignore it. You told yourself it was imagination. But it was not. It was preparation. I, Archangel Michael, have been assigned to guard this divine connection. There had been spiritual interference trying to delay it. Distractions. Doubt. It will confuse you. Old memories resurfacing. All of it was designed to keep you from recognizing the moment when it arrives. But heaven has overruled the delay. This Saturday carries a divine appointment. Not an accident. Not a random encounter. An appointment written before you were born. And the secret location is not a hidden island. It is not another country. It is closer than you think. But before I reveal it, you must understand something deeper. Your soulmate is not just a romantic partner. This person carries alignment with your destiny. When they step into your life, doors that have been locked will open effortlessly. Peace will replace confusion. You will not have to chase. You will not have to beg. You will not have to convince. The sign will be clarity. The enemy tried to send counterfeits before. People who almost felt right. Connections that looked promising but drained your spirit. That was not punishment. That was protection. I was standing at the gate, blocking what would have broken you later. You asked God why things ended. Now you will understand. Because this one is different. This Saturday, you will be positioned in a specific environment. Pay attention to where you feel an unusual pull. It may be somewhere simple. A coffee shop you almost didn't visit. A gathering you thought about canceling. A store you suddenly feel guided to enter. A place connected to something you love or something you prayed about recently. Here is the secret. The location is connected to your obedience. It is not about geography. It is about alignment. If you isolate yourself, you delay it. If you ignore the nudge, you postpone it. But if you move, when you feel that gentle push in your spirit, heaven will synchronize the encounter. There will be a sign. You will notice a calm recognition. Not fireworks. Not chaos. Not anxiety. Peace. Deep peace. As if your spirit says, finally. And here is what makes this urgent before 11:59 p.m. Tonight is about preparation. Before the clock shifts into the next day, you must release the past emotionally. Forget who hurt you. Let go of the name you still sometimes think about. Delete the silent expectations. Clean your heart. Not for them, for you. Because soulmates recognize each other through spiritual clarity. If your heart is cluttered with yesterday, you may miss tomorrow. I am not speaking of fantasy. I am speaking of divine orchestration. I have seen the blueprint. I have watched the timing shift. And I tell you with authority, this Saturday is marked. But there is something else you must hear. The appearance may not look dramatic. It may begin as a simple conversation. A smile. A question. Do not underestimate small beginnings. Great covenants often begin quietly. And do not announce it to everyone immediately. Protect what is forming. Seeds grow underground before they break the surface. Right now, as you listen, there is movement happening behind the scenes. Paths are crossing. Schedules are aligning. Delays are being removed. You were not overlooked. You were being refined. This is why you felt lonely at times. It was not emptiness. It was preparation space. And as this message reaches you before 11:59 p.m., know this: urgency in the spirit does not mean panic. It means alignment. Prepare your mind. Prepare your heart. Prepare your appearance. Prepare your faith. Saturday is not ordinary. When you wake up that morning, do not rush. Pray. Ask for divine positioning. Say, "Lord, guide my steps," and then move with expectancy, because the secret location will reveal itself through a gentle inner knowing. And when it happens, you will remember this message. You will say, "This is what was spoken. I am standing guard over this connection. Fear will not sabotage it. Doubt will not distort it. And insecurity will not steal it. You are stepping into divine timing. The countdown has begun. Beloved one, as the hours move closer to Saturday, the atmosphere around you is shifting in ways you cannot yet see. What felt ordinary yesterday will begin to feel charged with quiet expectation. This is how divine alignment works. It does not always announce itself with thunder. Sometimes it hums beneath the surface, waiting for your awareness to rise and meet it. You may notice unusual dreams. You may sense old memory surfacing, not to hurt you, but to close chapters completely. This is heaven clearing emotional space. I, Archangel Michael, stand as a guardian over transitions, and this moment is a sacred transition in your life. The enemy attempted to keep you distracted this week. Small frustrations, sudden tiredness, doubts whispering, "Nothing is going to happen." Those whispers were not yours. They were resistance. When destiny approaches, resistance increases. But hear me clearly. Resistance is not a sign to retreat. It is confirmation that something valuable is near. Saturday is not about luck. It is about readiness. You must understand that soulmate alignment requires inner stability. If your emotions are reactive, you may misread the encounter. If your expectations are unrealistic, you may overlook the simplicity of how it unfolds. This is why tonight and tomorrow matter so deeply. Guard your peace. Avoid unnecessary conflict. Do not engage in draining conversations. Protect your energy as if you are protecting something sacred, because you are. There is also a practical instruction hidden in this message. Be present. Put down distractions when you are out. Lift your eyes. Notice your surroundings. The secret location will not glow with a spotlight. It will feel natural, almost casual. The person will not announce themselves as the one. Instead, there will be an unforced flow in conversation. Time will feel lighter. And here is something important. Do not compare this person to anyone from your past. Comparison clouds discernment. Your past connections taught you lessons. This one will bring alignment. You might wonder, what if I miss it? That fear itself can create hesitation. Release that thought. What is ordained cannot be stolen easily, but it can be delayed by disbelief. Trust that if you move in faith, heaven will meet you halfway. I'm also revealing another layer. The secret location is connected to something that reflects your authentic self. A hobby, a place of growth, a setting tied to purpose. God is not bringing someone into a false version of you. This connection is being introduced in a space where you are most genuine. That is why isolation right now is dangerous. If you cancel every plan, if you choose fear over faith, if you decide to hide because of past disappointment, you create distance from alignment. Step out, even if it feels small, and when you do, walk with quiet confidence. You are not chasing love. You are responding to divine timing. There is a reason this message found you before 11:59 p.m. Urgency was mentioned. Preparation requires awareness. Do not wait until Saturday morning to suddenly believe. Begin believing now. Speak positively. Stay good. Also, let your spirit remain calm, not desperate, not overly intense. Calmest dictation attracts clarity. As this revelation spreads, there are others who need to hear it too. If this message is stirring something in your heart, do not keep it to yourself. Share this word with someone who has been praying for divine connection. Like this video to align your faith publicly. Comment your expectation below as a declaration. Subscribe to this channel and become part of a community that believes in heavenly timing. When you engage, you are not just supporting content. You are amplifying a message of hope that someone else desperately needs. Something powerful is unfolding, and the next insight will bring even deeper clarity about how you will recognize the moment when it stands right in front of you. Stay attentive, because what comes next may answer the question you have been silently carrying in your heart. Chosen soul, there is something deeper you must understand before Saturday arrives. What is about to happen is not only about meeting a person. It is about stepping into a covenant season. Many people desire companionship, but few are prepared for divine partnership. That is why heaven delayed certain relationships in your life. It was never rejection. It was refinement. I, Archangel Michael, have witnessed the spiritual battles around your heart. I have seen moments when you almost settled. I have watched the quiet tears when you wondered if love was reserved for others but not for you. Yet every delay was a shield. Every closed door was a sword cutting away what could not carry your future. This Saturday is marked not just because someone appears, but because you will recognize yourself differently. When your soulmate steps into your space, you will notice that you are not shrinking. You are not performing. You are not trying to impress. You are simply being. That is the first confirmation. The second confirmation will be peace without pressure. In the past, connections may have felt intense too quickly. Words rushed. Promises made without foundation. This time it will feel steady, balanced, safe. You will not feel the need to decode mixed signals. Clarity will replace confusion. And here is the hidden mystery of the location. It is connected to obedience you showed recently. A small step of faith. A decision to improve yourself. A place tied to growth. Heaven often hides miracles inside ordinary environments. The secret location is not secret because it is far away. It is secret because it is spiritually appointed. When you walk into that space, something inside you will quiet down. Anxiety will fade. Your spirit will sense alignment before your mind understands it. Do not overanalyze the first conversation. Let it flow naturally. Listen more than you speak. Observe how your energy feels around them. You have prayed for love that honors God. Remember that prayer when this person appears. Your words have power. Your faith created movement in realms you could not see. But I must warn you gently. The enemy may attempt one last distraction before the encounter. An unexpected message from someone from your past. A sudden emotional trigger. A wave of doubt. Recognize it for what it is. It is not coincidence. It is interference. Do not respond emotionally to old patterns. Stay focused. Saturday is not about perfection. It is about alignment. This person will not be flawless, and neither are you. What makes this divine is mutual growth, shared vision, and spiritual compatibility. If the meeting feels simple, do not dismiss it. Some of the most powerful covenants begin with ordinary introductions. Heaven does not always announce miracles with noise. Sometimes it whispers. As you prepare, release fear of disappointment. Fear creates self-sabotage. Expectation creates openness. And openness allows divine timing to unfold without resistance. There is also something happening beyond romance. This connection is linked to purpose. Together, you will influence others. Together, you will build something meaningful. That is why this timing matters. You were not meant to walk your calling alone. And now, before this moment arrives, cleanse your heart completely. Forgive without conditions. Bless those who walked away. Gratitude accelerates destiny. The clock is moving. But this urgency is not pressure. It is invitation. Heaven is saying, be ready. And as confirmation seals this message, participate in this prophetic act. Type I receive divine alignment in the comments if this word resonates with your spirit. Lesson code 314 is now activated over your connection. As this sacred alignment unfolds, understand that spreading messages like this is part of a greater mission. When you sow into this channel through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not supporting a platform. You are helping light reach hearts that are waiting in darkness. The Lord declares, as you sow, so shall you reap. And this is not theory. It is a living promise spoken over you. When you act, you become a vessel through which oil continues to flow to others. This is your moment to partner in the harvest of souls. Let your giving be a seed that opens heavens over your own life. I speak blessing over every hand that responds in faith. Step into obedience and release your seed today. Faithful heart, the moment is drawing closer, and now heaven wants you to understand how recognition truly works. Many people believe they will instantly know their soulmate through overwhelming emotion. But divine recognition is often quieter, deeper, and more stable than the world portrays. It feels less like a storm and more like coming home after a long journey. When Saturday arrives, you must move with awareness, not anxiety. I, Archangel Michael, am revealing this so you do not sabotage the very blessing you prayed for. Sometimes when prayers are finally answered, fear disguises itself as caution. You may question, is this too good to be true? That thought is not wisdom. It is residue from past disappointment. Let the past stay where it belongs. This connection will carry 3 spiritual confirmations. The first will be peace in your body, not nervous tension, not confusion. Your breathing will feel steady. Your mind will feel clear. Even if you feel a small excitement, it will not overwhelm you. It will feel balanced. The second confirmation will be mutual curiosity. They will ask about you in a sincere way, not to impress, not to manipulate, but to understand. And you will feel safe answering. There will be a natural exchange, not one-sided effort. The third confirmation will be alignment in values. You may discover shared perspectives about faith, growth, or purpose. Pay attention to this. Attraction may start the connection, but alignment sustains it. There is something else unfolding behind the scenes. This person has also been prepared. They have experienced lessons. They have endured delays. They too have questioned timing. Heaven has been shaping both of you separately so that when you meet, You are not incomplete halves, but two whole individuals ready to build. Do not rush the unfolding. If you feel the urge to force clarity immediately, pause. Divine timing does not require pressure. Allow space for organic development. You may also notice subtle spiritual opposition after the meeting. Doubt creeping in. Overthinking small details. Wondering if you imagine the connection. Recognize that as fear trying to re-enter. Stand firm. Pray for discernment, not suspicion. And remember, the secret location was never about a dramatic setting. It was about positioning. You were guided there for a reason. Whether it is a community space, an event, a place of learning, or somewhere tied to your personal interests, it carries significance because it reflects who you truly are becoming. That is why authenticity matters so deeply right now. Do not alter yourself to be liked. Do not shrink your personality. What is divinely aligned will resonate with the real you. As the day unfolds, keep your spirit attentive. Small details will stand out. A sentence they say that feels strangely familiar. A shared laugh that feels effortless. An unexpected moment of eye contact that lingers with comfort rather than tension. And here is something important. Do not announce expectations internally. Do not walk in thinking, this must be the one. Instead, walk in saying, Lord, let your will be done. That posture removes pressure and invites clarity. I'm also revealing that patience after the meeting will be crucial. The appearance may happen Saturday, but the unfolding will take time. Trust the process. Seeds do not become trees overnight. Some of you listening have been single longer than you expected. That season was not wasted. It builds strength. It builds self-awareness. It builds spiritual depth. You are not the same person you were years ago. That transformation is part of why this alignment is now possible. Do not underestimate growth. As you step into this weekend, let gratitude guide you. Gratitude attracts peace. Peace sharpens discernment. And discernment protects destiny. I stand watch over this moment. I guard against confusion. I guard against interference. But your participation matters. Faith is partnership. Walk forward calmly. Speak kindly. Observe quietly. Because what begins simply may become sacred. And what feels ordinary at first glance may be the doorway to a lifetime of shared purpose. Prepare yourself, not with fear, but with expectation rooted in trust. The timing is not random. The orchestration is not accidental. Heaven is aligning what once seemed delayed. And soon, you will understand why it had to happen this way. Steady one. Now we must speak about what happens in the unseen realm the moment two destinies begin to move toward each other. You think you are simply planning your Saturday. You think you are choosing what to wear, where to go, what time to leave. But in the spirit, movements are being synchronized with precision. Timelines are converging. Paths that once ran parallel are about to intersect. I, Archangel Michael, do not speak of fantasy. I speak of divine orchestration. There are moments in life when heaven accelerates what has been delayed. This is one of those moments. You must understand something crucial. Soulmate alignment is not just emotional compatibility. It is spiritual permission. When God says, now, obstacles that stood for years can suddenly dissolve. Internal walls fall. External circumstances shift. Even confidence rises in a way you cannot logically explain. Have you noticed a subtle increase in self-awareness recently? A desire to improve yourself. A quiet conviction to let go of habits that once held you back. That was preparation. You were being elevated to match what is coming. But elevation requires responsibility. If insecurity tries to surface when you meet this person, you not entertain it. You are not behind in life. You are not less than anyone else. Comparison is a thief that steals divine joy. The one who is meant for you will not measure you against others. They will see your journey as strength, not weakness. There is also a spiritual law at work here. What you focus on expands. If you focus on fear, you magnify doubt. If you focus on possibility, you magnify peace. As Saturday approaches, train your mind to expect good. Do not rehearse worst-case scenarios. Do not imagine rejection before a conversation even begins. Walk in grounded confidence. The right connection will not require performance. And listen carefully. This meeting may not be dramatic. It could begin with something simple. Asking for help. Standing in the same line. Sitting near each other unexpectedly. A mutual introduction through someone you trust. Do not dismiss subtle beginnings. Divine appointments often wear ordinary clothing. You may even question afterward, was that really significant? Yes, because significance is not measured by intensity. It is measured by alignment. If contact information is exchanged, allow it to unfold naturally. Do not rush constant communication. Let anticipation build slowly. Depth is more valuable than speed. There is something else you must guard against. Over-spiritualizing every small detail. Stay balanced. Not every smile is destiny. Not every interaction is confirmation. Discernment requires both faith and wisdom. You will know by the fruit. Do you feel respected? Do you feel heard? Do you feel calm? These are signs of health. And if for some reason Saturday does not look exactly how you imagined, do not panic. Sometimes divine timing begins with a glimpse, not a full reveal. Trust that what has been initiated cannot easily be undone. I must also speak to those who feel unworthy of this promise. You have carried guilt from past mistakes. You have believed that perhaps you disqualified yourself from lasting love. That belief is false. Growth redeems. Repentance restores. You are not defined by who you used to be. This soulmate connection is not a reward for perfection. It is alignment after preparation. And preparation was painful at times. You learn boundaries. You learn self-respect. You learn patience. Those lessons were not wasted years. They were training seasons. As the hours pass, keep your heart steady. Avoid emotional extremes. Remain open but not desperate. Remain hopeful but not demanding. I stand at the edge of this transition, ensuring that interference does not overpower obedience. But remember, your free will matters. Choose courage over fear. Choose faith over doubt. When you step into the secret location, walk as someone who expects goodness, not as someone afraid of loss. Because what is meant for you does not require chasing. It requires recognition. Saturday carries a shift, endure, an introduction. And when it unfolds, even if it begins quietly, something inside you will whisper, "This feels different." Hold on to that whisper. It may be the beginning of everything you once prayed for. Courageous soul, as the appointed day stands before you, there is a final layer of preparation that must take place within your spirit. External readiness is easy. You can choose the right clothes. You can plan your schedule. You can decide where to go. But internal readiness requires honesty. It requires you to ask yourself one powerful question. Am I truly ready to receive what I have been praying for? I, Archangel Michael, say this with authority and compassion. Sometimes people pray for love, but subconsciously they are still attached to independence built from survival. You became strong because you had to. You learned how to handle everything alone. You stopped expecting support because it once disappointed you. Its strength protected you, but now it must soften slightly to allow partnership. Divine love does not erase your independence. It complements it. But if you resist vulnerability, you will block intimacy. And intimacy is the soil where soulmates grow. As Saturday approaches, reflect on this quietly. Are you willing to be seen? Not the polished version, not the guarded version. The real you. The one who has dreams, fears, ambitions, and questions. The right person will not run from your depth. They will honor it. There is also something shifting in your energy field. Confidence is rising, even if you do not fully recognize it yet. You may notice that you are no longer chasing validation the way you once did. That is a sign of maturity. Desperation repels divine timing. Stability attracts it. But listen carefully. When the meeting happens, keep your expectations balanced. Do not immediately project a future onto a single interaction. Let the foundation form brick by brick. Healthy connections are built, not rushed. You may feel a gentle nervousness when you first see them. That is natural. But it will not feel chaotic. It will feel like anticipation mixed with peace. That combination is rare, and it is sacred. After the initial encounter, give space for clarity. Pray. Reflect. Observe how you feel the next day. True alignment brings calm assurance, not restless obsession. And if communication begins, let it be steady and respectful. Notice consistency. Notice effort. Notice how they handle small disagreements or misunderstandings. Character reveals itself in subtle ways. There is something else heaven wants you to understand. Your soulmate is not arriving to complete you. They are arriving to complement you. You are already whole. This connection is an addition, not a rescue mission. Some of you have been asking silently, why now? Because you are no longer seeking someone to fix loneliness. You are ready to share fullness. That shift changes everything. As this revelation reaches you, I also remind you that faith grows when it is declared. If this message is strengthening your hope, engage with it boldly. Like this video as a sign of agreement with divine timing. Share it with someone who has been waiting for their own breakthrough. Comment your declaration of readiness below. Subscribe to this channel and become part of this growing movement of faith. When you interact, you amplify encouragement for countless others who feel unseen. And if this word is speaking deeply to your spirit, consider joining the membership community to stand in ongoing alignment with messages like this. Hold on, because what unfolds next will reveal how to protect this connection once it begins. The wisdom ahead may be exactly what preserves what heaven is initiating. Now breathe. Calm your thoughts. Trust that you are not late. Trust that nothing was wasted. Trust that Saturday is not random. I stand watch over this doorway. Walk through it with steady confidence. Watchful heart. Now we must speak about protection. A protection from love, a protection for love. When something divinely aligned begins to form, it must be guarded in its early stages. Seeds are most vulnerable before they take root. That is why wisdom after the encounter will matter just as much as courage before it. I, Archangel Michael, am not only assigned to announce alignment, I am assigned to defend it. But spiritual defense also requires your cooperation. You cannot expose what is forming to every opinion, every friend, every voice that once doubted your journey. Not everyone will understand what God is building in your life. After Saturday's encounter, you may feel excitement rising. That is natural. But temper excitement with discernment. Do not rush to label it publicly. Do not overanalyze every detail with outsiders. Allow the connection to breathe without pressure from external commentary. When two souls begin aligning, there is an invisible exchange taking place. Values are being tested. Intentions are being revealed. Character is quietly observed. This stage is sacred because it reveals whether the foundation is stable enough to build upon. You must pay attention to consistency. Does their behavior align with their words? Do they respect your time? Do they communicate clearly? Divine connections do not thrive in confusion. If something feels unclear, address it calmly. Do not ignore small red flags out of fear of losing the opportunity. But also, do not create problems where none exist. Healing means you no longer expect betrayal at every turn. If they take a few hours to respond, do not assume rejection. If they have responsibilities, do not interpret it as disinterest. Balanced thinking preserves peace. There is something powerful about patience in this season. Patience allows truth to surface naturally. When you do not force progression, authenticity reveals itself. Some of you will feel tempted to test this person emotionally to see how much they care. Resist that urge. Games weaken what honesty strengthens. Speak openly. Listen deeply. Build gradually. And remember, this soulmate connection is tied to purpose. You may discover shared goals or complementary strengths. Notice how conversations about the future feel. Do they spark inspiration? Do they bring clarity? Purpose-driven partnerships feel energizing, not draining. You must also guard against self-sabotage. Old patterns may try to resurface, pulling away when things feel good, overthinking small interactions, creating distance to avoid vulnerability. Recognize these behaviors and choose differently. You prayed for this alignment. You not retreat when it begins. There is another layer I must reveal. Sometimes divine connections face subtle opposition not through dramatic events, but through busyness. Schedules misaligning, small misunderstandings, fatigue. These are not always attacks. Sometimes they are simple tests of maturity. Handle them with calm communication. If conflict arises, observe how both of you respond. Healthy love does not avoid difficulty. It navigates it respectfully. As this connection develops, keep your spiritual foundation strong. Continue praying. Continue seeking wisdom. Love thrives when rooted in something greater than emotion. You may notice that your peace remains steady even between conversations. That is a sign of healthy attachment. Anxiety fades. Trust grows. And if for any reason this person does not continue forward in alignment, trust that too. Divine timing is precise. If something fades quickly, it was revelation, not loss. But do not assume failure before growth has a chance to unfold. Saturday was the introduction. What follows is cultivation. You are stepping into a season where discernment and openness must coexist. Too guarded, and you block intimacy. Too naive, and you ignore wisdom. Balance is your protection. I stand watch over what heaven has initiated. Fear will not dominate it. Confusion will not corrupt it. But your mindset matters deeply. Choose clarity. Choose calm. Choose courage. Because what is unfolding is not temporary excitement. It carries the potential for covenant. Guard it gently. Nurture it wisely. and trust that the one who aligned this meeting is still overseeing every step that follows. Waken one. Now the veil lifts a little higher. You have prepared. You have stepped out. You have recognized the shift. But what you may not fully see yet is how this connection is part of a larger divine strategy over your life. This is not only about companionship. It is about acceleration. When two destinies align under God's timing, momentum increases. Opportunities expand. Confidence strengthens. Vision sharpens. That is why the enemy attempted to delay this meeting for so long. Isolation sows expansion. The right partnership multiplies it. I, Archangel Michael, have seen the blueprint. The reason this Saturday was marked is because you have crossed an invisible threshold of readiness. You are no longer seeking someone to rescue you from loneliness. You are prepared to build. And building requires two pillars standing upright, not leaning in desperation. There is something sacred about how this person will challenge you. Not in a destructive way, but in a refining way. They will see potential in you that you sometimes doubt. They will speak encouragement in areas where you once felt insecure. This is how divine partnership operates. It strengthens, it sharpens, it elevates. But hear this clearly. Growth inside a relationship requires humility. You must be willing to listen, willing to adjust, willing to communicate without ego. Soulmates are not identical personalities. They are complementary strengths learning to move as one unit. As this bond begins to form, you may notice subtle confirmations repeating. Shared values, similar prayers spoken separately in the past. A sense that timing feels strangely perfect. Do not dismiss these confirmations as coincidence. They are markers of alignment. At the same time, remain grounded. Continue living your purpose individually. Do not abandon your goals in the excitement of new connection. Healthy love enhances identity. It does not consume it. There will be moments where vulnerability deepens. Stories from your past will be shared. Wounds acknowledged. Dreams revealed. In those conversations, you will sense whether this person honors your transparency. If they respond with empathy, if they listen without judgment, that is a sacred sign. Some of you are still carrying subtle fear. Fear that if this grows, it might one day hurt. That fear is understandable. But love without risk does not exist. Trust does not eliminate uncertainty. It chooses faith despite it. And here is the powerful truth. This connection is not fragile if it is truly ordained. It may face challenges, but it will not collapse under minor pressure. What God initiates, He sustains when both hearts remain aligned with Him. As momentum builds, protect your gratitude. Thank God privately for every step forward. Gratitude keeps your heart soft and your mind clear. Now I must seal this moment with a prophetic act. Type "My heart is ready" in the comments if you feel this alignment stirring within you. Blessing code 818 has just been released over your connection and your future union. And as this divine acceleration unfolds, understand that this message reaching thousands is not accidental. When you release a super thanks, when you step into membership, or when you sow through the PayPal link in the description, you are watering seeds in unseen hearts across the world. The Lord whispers, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," and that promise breathes life into every obedient act. This is not supporting a channel. This is fueling a harvest of restored hope. When you move in generosity, you step into the river that carries blessing forward. I declare that every seed sown into this mission returns multiplied peace and favor into your own life. Act now in faith and release what heaven places on your heart. Something even deeper is about to be revealed about the long-term covenant this meeting may grow into. Prepare yourself, because what comes next will expand your understanding of why this timing had to be exact. Steadfast soul, now we approach the deeper covenant layer of this revelation. What began as an introduction is not meant to remain surface level. Divine alignment carries intention. It is not entertainment. It is not temporary excitement. It is structure. It is foundation. It is future. You must understand something clearly at this stage. Soulmate connection is not proven by intensity. It is proven by endurance. Chemistry may spark quickly, but covenant is built slowly. The question is no longer just, did you meet? The question now becomes, can you build? I, Archangel Michael, reveal this so you step forward with wisdom, not fantasy. Many people miss lasting love because they chase emotion over stability. But heaven is not aligning you with chaos disguised as passion. This connection, if truly ordained, will grow in steadiness. After the first meetings and conversations, observe rhythm. Is communication balanced? Is effort mutual? You both of you initiate. Divine partnership is not one person carrying the emotional weight. It is reciprocity. There will be defining moments ahead. Small situations that reveal character. How they handle stress. How they speak about others. How they respond when plans shift unexpectedly. Pay attention. You are not looking for perfection. You are looking for integrity. At this point, patience becomes your greatest strength. Do not rush future conversations prematurely. Let trust build through shared experiences. Time is not your enemy here. Time is your ally. You may begin to notice how natural your lives integrate. Conversations may expand into shared ideas. Simple plans may turn into consistent habits. That is how foundation forms. Not through dramatic declarations, but through reliable presence. And yet, I must caution you gently. Remain discerning. Just because something feels promising does not mean you abandon wisdom. Ask questions. Speak honestly about your values. Clarify intentions when appropriate. Avoid assumptions. Clarity prevents confusion. This stage is where many sabotage themselves through overthinking. They replay conversations repeatedly. They search for hidden meanings in harmless words. They fear loss before stability has even formed. Release that pattern. If something needs clarity, communicate calmly instead of imagining worst-case outcomes. There is also spiritual maturity required here. Continue seeking God individually. Do not make this person your sole emotional anchor. Keep your spiritual foundation strong so the relationship rests on stability, not dependency. You will know covenant potential by peace that remains consistent. Not excitement one day and anxiety the next. Not grand promises followed by silence. Consistency is the quiet language of true alignment. Some of you listening may still wonder if this is truly your person. But clarity will not always come in one dramatic revelation. It will grow as trust grows. Covenant recognition is often gradual. And here is a powerful truth. If this connection is truly ordained, it will survive honest conversations. It will not collapse when boundaries are expressed. It will not weaken when expectations are clarified. It will strengthen. If, however, something begins to feel forced, if effort becomes one-sided, or if peace consistently disappears, trust that as well. Divine timing includes divine redirection when necessary. But do not assume failure without evidence. Let reality speak through actions, not fear. The secret location was only the beginning. The real revelation is who you are becoming through this process. More grounded, more aware, more confident, less desperate, less afraid. Even if this person ultimately becomes your life partner, remember that the true miracle was not just meeting them. It was becoming ready. Saturday marked a doorway. What follows is cultivation, patience, observation, and growth. And as this continues unfolding, something profound is forming beneath the surface. A deeper layer of purpose is connected to this union. The next revelation will uncover why this relationship is not only about love, but about legacy. Remain steady. Remain wise. Remain open. Because covenant is not built in a moment. It is built in consistency. And what is built with patience lasts far beyond excitement. Brave heart, now we step into the revelation of legacy. What you thought was simply about companionship carries a deeper thread woven through your destiny. This connection is not random affection. It is alignment for impact. When God joins two prepared individuals, He often has influence in mind. I, Archangel Michael, have witnessed how your life hath been shaped through lessons, delays, and unexpected detours. None of it was accidental. Every disappointment carved wisdom into you. Every closed door redirected your path. Now imagine two lives shaped by refinement coming together. That is not coincidence. That is strategy. Legacy is not only about public success. It is about the atmosphere you create together, the peace in your home, the values you protect, the way you encourage one another's calling. When divine partnership forms, it strengthens both individuals' assignments. You may begin to notice conversations shifting toward future vision. Not in a rushed way, but naturally. Discussions about goals, faith, family, purpose, growth. These conversations are not casual. They are indicators of alignment depth. Pay attention to how you both handle responsibility. Do you inspire discipline in each other? Do you support each other's dreams without jealousy? Do you celebrate wins without competition? These are the markers of a partnership that can build legacy rather than just share moments. There is something powerful about shared direction. When two people walk in unity, progress accelerates. Not because life becomes easier, but because strength multiplies. Encouragement doubles. Accountability sharpens focus. But legacy requires maturity. You cannot build something lasting if ego dominates. Pride disrupts harmony. Humility preserves it. If disagreements arise, approach them as teammates, not opponents. Seek understanding, not victory. You may also face external opinions. Some will celebrate you. Others may question timing or compatibility. Do not allow outside voices to outweigh inner peace. The secret location was revealed to you, not to the crowd. What God initiates in private does not require public approval to survive. At this stage, continue nurturing the foundation. Create memories slowly. Introduce shared routines. Allow trust to deepen through consistency. Rushing major decisions prematurely constrain what is still forming. Stability is built layer by layer. And here is an important reminder. Do not lose yourself in the process. Healthy legacy is built by two individuals who maintain identity while choosing unity. Continue pursuing your growth. Continue honoring your personal calling. The right partnership will support, not suppress, your expansion. If this message is stirring confirmation within you, engage boldly. Like this video as a declaration that you believe in divine timing. Share it with someone who needs encouragement about their own alignment. Comment your commitment to building wisely, not rushing emotionally. Subscribe and become part of this faith-centered community that values discernment and destiny. Your interaction spreads hope farther than you realize, because what unfolds next will test not just emotion, but endurance. And endurance is where true covenant proves itself. There will be days that feel ordinary, days without dramatic affirmation. That is where consistency becomes sacred. Showing up, communicating, supporting, praying, laughing, growing. These simple acts form the backbone of lasting union. If this connection continues aligning, you will sense increasing clarity rather than confusion. Plans will feel mutual. Direction will feel shared. Peace will remain steady even during challenges. And if obstacles arise, approach them together rather than individually retreating. Partnership means facing life side by side. Remember, legacy is not built overnight. It is constructed through daily intentional choices. Small kindnesses, honest conversations, shared discipline, mutual respect. Saturday was never just about an encounter. It was about activation, a doorway into a season where love is no longer abstract, but actionable. Stand firm in patience. Remain anchored in faith. Protect unity as it grows, because what heaven aligns for purpose carries strength beyond emotion. And the final revelation ahead will unveil the ultimate confirmation that this union is not only timely, but divinely sealed. Enduring one. Now we arrive at the threshold of sealing. You have heard about preparation, recognition, protection, growth, and legacy. But there is one final dimension that determines whether a connection becomes covenant or remains a chapter. That dimension is spiritual covering. I, Archangel Michael, stand as a guardian not only of moments but of agreements. When two people decide to move forward intentionally, heaven observes the posture of their hearts. Are they walking in humility? Are they honoring truth? Are they inviting God into their decisions? These questions matter more than emotion ever will. The ultimate confirmation of divine union is not intensity. It is alignment under pressure. There will come a moment when both of you must decide whether to continue casually or to build intentionally. That conversation may not happen immediately, but when it does, clarity will matter. Speak honestly about expectations. Speak openly about values. Avoid vague promises. Covenant thrives in transparency. If this connection is truly ordained, you will notice that difficult conversations do not destroy it. They refine it. When misunderstandings occur, resolution will feel possible rather than exhausting. When differences appear, compromise will feel mutual rather than forced. Watch how both of you handle responsibility. Reliability is romance in mature love. Keeping promises, showing up on time, following through. These quiet behaviors are louder than poetic words. You may also sense spiritual confirmation through peace during prayer. When you pray about this person, do you feel calm assurance or constant anxiety? God's alignment brings steadiness, even when details are still unfolding. At this stage, resist the urge to compare your journey to others. Some relationships move quickly. Others grow gradually. Divine timing is specific to calling. Focus on your path, not someone else's timeline. There may be a defining test ahead, not a dramatic crisis, but a situation that reveals depth of commitment. It could involve sacrifice, scheduling, priorities, or patience. Observe how both of you respond. Do you protect the connection or do you protect ego? Sealing happens when two people consistently choose each other with maturity. Understand this clearly. Soulmates are not found, They are revealed through alignment and maintained through intention. Destiny introduces. Character sustains. If you reach a point where future conversations become natural rather than forced, where mutual respect deepens rather than fades, where trust strengthens rather than weakens, then you are witnessing divine sealing in motion. But if clarity does not increase over time, if confusion remains constant, if effort becomes one-sided, trust that revelation as well. Not every introduction becomes current. Some are lessons confirming readiness. Do not fear truth. Truth protects your future. And remember, sealing does not mean perfection. It means commitment to growth together. It means choosing understanding over assumption. It means praying for each other privately, not just speaking affection publicly. As you stand at this threshold, reflect on who you have become through this journey. More patient, more discerning, more stable. Even if the outcome unfolds differently than expected, you have evolved. That evolution is part of the blessing. Saturday activated something greater than a meeting. It activated awareness of your worth. It activated courage to step forward. It activated discernment to protect your peace. Now sealing approaches not through dramatic signs, but through steady confirmation. Continue listening. Continue observing. Continue communicating with wisdom. Because the final revelation will declare whether this union is simply promising or prophetically appointed. And when that final confirmation comes, you will not need external validation. You will know. Peace will settle deeply. Clarity will remain steady. And heaven will stand witness to what has been established. Beloved of destiny, this is the final unveiling. You have walked through preparation, recognition, protection, growth, legacy, and sealing. Now the ultimate confirmation stands before you. Not in noise, not in spectacle, but in settled peace. The greatest sign that this union is divinely appointed is not overwhelming emotion. It is unwavering clarity. I, Archangel Michael, declare this with authority. When God seals something, confusion loses its voice. Fear may attempt to whisper, but it cannot dominate. Doubt may knock, but it cannot enter. There is a quiet assurance that rests in your spirit like an anchor. You will notice that with this person, you are not striving. You are not performing. You are not anxious about being replaced. There is security forming, not because of control, but because of consistency. Words match actions. Intentions match effort. Presence remains steady. That is the mark of divine confirmation. There comes a moment in every ordained connection where both hearts recognize the same truth at the same time. It may not be dramatic. It may happen in a simple conversation, a shared prayer, a calm discussion about the future. But when it happens, you will feel alignment settle deeply within you. This is what heaven meant when it said, "This Saturday, your soulmate will appear." The appearance was only the beginning. The revelation was progressive. The secret location was never about a building or street. It was about the appointed intersection of readiness and timing. You were positioned. They were positioned. And heaven synchronized the meeting. Now sealing completes through mutual intention, through continued faith, through mature love. Understand this clearly. Divine union does not eliminate challenges. It provides partnership through them. Storms may come, but division will not dominate. Disagreements may arise, but respect will remain. Growth will be continuous. If this person is truly your soulmate, you will build together without losing yourselves individually. You will sharpen each other without diminishing each other. You will encourage purpose, not compete with it. And if for some listening, The connection did not unfold exactly as expected. Do not interpret that as failure. Sometimes revelation shows you what is not meant for you so that you can fully receive what is. Divine timing is precise. Nothing ordained will bypass you. But for many of you, this is the beginning of covenant. Protect it with prayer. Nurture it with patience. Strengthen it with honesty. Sustain it with humility. The urgency before 11:59 p.m. was never about fear. It was about awareness. Heaven wanted your heart ready. And now you see why. Destiny required participation. And you responded. Now seal this prophetic moment. Type IT is confirmed in the comments if this message has aligned with your spirit. Blessing code 1224 is now released over your union and your future household. As this word reaches its completion, understand something sacred. This message was not created for entertainment. It was released to awaken hearts to divine timing. When you sow through super thanks, when you join membership, or when you give through the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding a video. You are igniting lamps in homes where hope was fading. The Lord declares over you, those who water others will themselves be watered, and this promise stands alive over your obedience. As you release your seed, you step into partnership with heaven's harvest. I speak increase, protection, and favor over every giver who responds in faith. Act now. Sow into this mission, and let your generosity echo into eternity. This is not the end. It is the beginning of what was written for you long ago. Walk forward in peace. Heaven stands witness.